Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Socially Distant Podcast. We want to take a second to thank everybody once again for tuning in and to give you a big ol' SDP welcome to the Season 3 premiere, episode 41. Applause. I tried to say clap and applause at the same time, and it didn't work out. Welcome back.
Applause.
Oh, we got a good one for you today. As always, applauses, clappases. Got the boys with me. Dylan, Trent. Dylan, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Good.
Nothing much new.
Trenny?
What's going on with you, Trent?
Fucking nothing much new. Except for fat Bitcoin dip, fat crypto dip recently. If any of the listeners out there into cryptos,
into them stonks,
like we talked about.
If you bought at $42,000, you're a retard.
If you bought Bitcoin at 40,000, you just lost so much money, boy.
Yeah, you screwed.
I don't know. Not smart.
Not really. If you bought one Bitcoin at $40,000, you lost $6,000 at the moment.
Still, but like six,
which is a fat loss.
You put money in,
but if you have $40,000 to buy Bitcoin right now,
you made some poor financial life decisions.
Hey, you done goofed there.
You jumped the gun, but
you never know. It's probably gonna be up at 50,000.
Yeah.
Next week, you never know.
Eventually. Fucking some people.
Maybe
I was watching. What's up?
No, you're good. Keep going.
I was watching Bloomberg, and some guy was like, eventually it's gonna add another zero. It's just a matter of when. And I was like, shit, yo, that's scary. But, yes, we also had some other wild news. And,
yes. I know, really.
Dylan had a lot of...
Hit me with it.
Yeah, I want to address this real quick because I feel like I slightly clickbaited last week because I put the photo of the Capitol burning as the background.
You clickbait son of a bitch.
I didn't mean to clickbait. It was just like that was like what was happening that day, like the day before, and I felt like it was necessary to show.
Yes.
Like what the fuck was going on. But now is the time where we'll actually discuss it. We were a day before on the record.
Yes.
But, last Wednesday, we saw what started off as a protest for the, how do I phrase this? The stealing of the election by the Democrats, according to multiple sources. And after Donald Trump spoke, he gave a nice little speech pretty much saying that the Democrats are the devil, and that you should go and do something about it. And shortly after that, they stormed the Capitol building, and we saw what happened from there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I don't want to say I'm desensitized to like the things that happen in our country, but I'm at the point now to where when something like major happens like this, I don't, as much as it like hurts me to see and like I feel like shitty being an American and watching other Americans do like this crazy stuff. I'm almost just to the point now where like I see and hear about this shit like happening like when it happens or right after it happens, and I'm kind of just like, oh yeah. Like I don't know, I'm just to the point now where I just expect it, so it kind of just like doesn't surprise me.
No, we are all very, very desensitized, because imagine if this would have happened like, I don't know when this would have happened, because we were in a situation.
Imagine this happens in like a 2002 2003 like year or two after like something like the World Trade Center. People would think we're under attack again.
Yeah.
People would be like, what the fuck's going on?
I don't know what happened where we forgot that like terrorism exists.
Yeah, I don't know.
And anybody can be a terrorist. Because like in 2001, like literally everybody, like there's been a lot of times in our country where we think that our neighbors are the enemy.
Yeah.
Like the Red Scare and everything. Like there have been a lot of situations where we are like on our toes about who lives next to us and stuff like that. And after 9/11 was like that. And now we're in it. This situation is more than ever. Like your next door neighbor could be a domestic terrorist.
Yeah.
Generally.
Oh, God.
And they don't see it like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't see it like that.
It's very weird. I got some remarks. I feel like there's a lot of, there's two sides you can be on. either you're on the side of, oh my God, they stole the election. I truly believe what Donald Trump has told me.
Yeah. No.
Or
Sorry.
you are someone who, not trying to throw any shade, but has common sense. Someone who is just like respectable, and like you're on the side of like, damn, bro, like this shit was fucked up. Like you're storming a federal building over
one of the other
propaganda.
Things I want to one of the other things I want to mention is that I feel like, at least with the right, I could be wrong, because there are a lot of Republicans that like wouldn't go out and do stuff like that. But I feel like more so on the left, people are less likely to go and do shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna go, like, I heavily care about our country, and I want to continue to work in politics and do stuff like that, but I'm not gonna go out and like do serious protesting or anything.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the left is kind of in my situation, where we're all introverts and we don't want to, like, at least in our age demographic. But
for sure.
I mean, like my parents are Republicans, and when they heard like what had happened, and going back to what you said earlier, Trump's, as always, it's nothing new. His choice of words, his wording was so poorly put when like he spoke right before shit hit the fan. He, like, if I remember correctly, he said something along the lines of like you said, stole the election from us, but then like it's up to you to take it back, and like shit like that. Like, you cannot say that to people of his following. You can't use those choice of words, because they, in their mind, like, you know exactly what they're gonna interpret that as. Like, holy shit,
and that's
he's telling us to go run that bitch down. Like,
that's
no.
fascism.
Yeah, and that's why they're trying to get him on incitement.
Yeah.
Because he 100% incited that riot.
Yeah, there is no way in hell you're gonna convince me otherwise that he didn't, like, you know, be like, you know, nod, wink, wink, like, fucking run that bitch down. You can't say that to people.
Also, if we want to bring in like the black, like everybody's comparing these to like the Black Lives Matter riots and protests and everything. Like, in all those situations, the National Guard was called in. Like, the police force was fully there and ready.
That's what
this situation. There was not a single National Guard person called in until after the Capitol building was already sieged.
Yeah, that's what kind of like disgusts me about it. You see like videos like comparing like Black Lives Matter protest, and I mean, we can get into the differences and the similarities between all of them, but like cases where you can tell these people like aren't being violent and they aren't doing anything to it, like to ensue harm, and they're getting treated the way they do, and then there's videos of like these officers and these people that are working at the Capitol building, like hugging, high-fiving these people like as they walk in. Like, it's just so asinine backwards. No, but what I was gonna say though before I went was like, my parents are Republicans, and they were completely like appalled and just like disgusted by what had happened. Like, you know how my mom and dad aren't anywhere near like those kind of people that would be like, oh fuck it, let's go burn it down. Like, they might be Republicans, but they are not Trump supporters. And that's like,
I think last week I might have brought up a little, but that just gets into the Republican Party splitting. Like, this is the worst way the party could have split, because Mitch McConnell right now is like, he's like moving towards like being part of the impeachment and everything. Like, Mitch McConnell, the demon of the Republican Party, is now turning his back on like all of that, which means that party is splitting. If all those Republicans turn their back on Mitch McConnell, that means the party splits, because he is the definition of like the establishment of the Republican Party.
You should do away with political parties.
That doesn't make sense to me, because Mitch McConnell like recognized Joe Biden as the president. Like, he's not a part of this fucking like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like he is the establishment of the Republican Party. What he does
like
turns a lot of the other establishment Republicans in a certain direction. And even my Senator Pat Toomey, who
To
for the
me.
past 6 months has been saying that since November has been saying that the election was stolen and like that Pennsylvania needs to look into all this shit and everything, has now turned and said that the election was not stolen
Yeah.
and Donald Trump needs to resign. Like,
It's so
those
fucking
riots
stupid.
fucked him over. So like he was already fucked to begin with. There's no way he's gonna overturn the thing. But like he lost all support that he had besides like the fringe Republicans that are going to be a part of the party that if it does split. There are Trump Republicans like still in the government.
Yeah. That's. I hate politics. It's so fucking
I
stupid.
don't know.
There was some. I think she was in the House. She was Republican from. I want to say Arizona, but she was like live tweeting their locations during the riots so that people could find Nancy Pelosi.
What?
Yeah. She was telling people where they were going and stuff so they could find like and telling them that Nancy Pelosi is split off from the group.
Okay,
And
so
shit
like
that on Twitter.
shit like that, right?
That's a
People-
crime. That's gotta
People
be a
who
crime.
people who do that and think that in no way it's wrong, that's where you're fucked up. You are just setting her up. I don't care who she is, I don't care what she's done, what she believes in. Somebody like that, just simply because she's a politician, like you are literally just like breeding the idea in somebody's head, like, oh shit, I know where she is.
Yeah.
And like somebody can do anything to her. Like that's fucked up, dude. I don't care.
Dude, they would have honestly. If Nancy Pelosi would have been like if they could have grabbed her, they would have killed
Oh
her.
yeah, they would have snatched her up. Somebody would have strangled her on the
Yeah.
spot. You kidding me?
There would have been no doubt in my mind that they would have killed killed any government official Democratic government official.
You know
if
how
they would have
easy
gotten
it
their
is?
hands on any of them.
Not like I have experience in the matter or anything, so don't like take this in a weird way. But you know how easy it is to literally just like grab somebody and strangle them before like somebody could
especially
actually
an
do anything.
80-year-old woman.
You could literally just
Yeah.
gone. Like
Unless she's an alien.
true.
No, these there's the one dude that was like sitting in her desk or whatever.
Yeah.
Did you see
He's-
that?
That guy's a
photo?
fucking
He's in
idiot.
jail for stealing
Yeah.
her mail.
He took her mail. He took a picture with it. Like you idiot.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We gotta get into that. These motherfuckers are the stupidest idiots on earth. Like, this is what you get for not wearing a mask. At least
I know.
Antifa wears masks. So
They don't know who
tell
they are. They know exactly who you are. Like, oh
The
my
FBI
god.
has made over like 90 arrests already and has 70,000 tips about.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
It's so.
You guys know
fucking
who? You guys know who Bradley Martin is?
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
one of the pictures of that guy who had like the face paint on and he had like the animal like skin over his head.
Yes, the MAGA shaman.
Bradley
Gee,
Martin
man,
kept
man.
like posting that on his socials. He's like, "This is not me."
Yeah, bro.
Because so
I
many,
saw full
so many
send
people
was
were like tagging him and like sending it to him, like, "Yo, is this you?" And he posted a picture of like himself, like, and then it was split, and then it was like a picture of that guy. He's like, "This is not me, I promise," because so many people were convinced. It was hilarious.
That's
That dude
fucking
is
funny.
nowhere near the size of Bradley Martin.
I know, it's hilarious, dude. I was like, that's funny as shit. But
I
it's
think
just
Full Sun
ridiculous.
like started that just to fuck with him because I
Probably.
saw their
Yeah, I
original
guess.
post and they were like, "Yo, what's?"
They started
showed
everything.
a picture of that guy and they were like, "What's what's Bradley Martin doing at these protests?"
What's he doing at these protests?
That shit's funny.
But I wanna
He's
one
way
more
too
thing.
jacked.
What's up?
No, you keep going.
One
you
more
wanna
thing
say?
I want to say on this matter is what I said before we started recording, and I think it's like an interesting topic to discuss. Is, and you can portray it perfectly to like that girl who was like tweeting like the live locations like Nancy Pelosi. It kind of relays into that whole idea of like we used to have a time where nobody. My cousin brought this up because my cousin's like, she graduated in like 2007. The one who has like the baby, she lives down the road from me. Like she's a lot older than me, like so she knows. She was like, whatever happened to like, she's like, I remember a time where nobody discussed like politics as far as like what they thought and like what they believe. Like you could talk about it, but it was just one of those things that like people didn't talk about because you never gonna completely agree with somebody. And like it was just like one of those things like you never talked about it on like social medias. Like you didn't go places and be like, so who did you vote for? It's like the first question people
Yeah.
ask for nowadays.
Yeah.
And back then she said like nobody talked to it. It's just something you didn't talk about. And I just think it's so dumb. We've just come to a point where there's like 5 major questions or questions you only want to talk to people about, and they have to do with politics and where you stand on all this other bullshit.
I find it difficult in my everyday life to like try to get away to try to have conversations with people
and have it not revolve around
related
politics,
in some way, shape, or form with what's going on. It's like hard because like what else do you talk about, like what's going on in the world, when the only thing that's going on is like the shit show?
Well, it should just be more normal to talk about just more normal, not like so specific things in that nature. It shouldn't be like you start a conversation with somebody and they ask you like what you do for a living, and you're like, oh, I'm a contractor, or like I'm a carpenter, and they're like, oh, so you must be a Republican. Like, you know what I mean? It always comes back to questions like that.
Yeah.
They base off like what you like to do. Oh, you drive a pickup truck and you fucking drink Busch beer. You must be a Republican. Like shit like that. It's just, it always comes back to who you support, what your political party is.
I voted for Joe Biden. I proudly drink Busch beer.
Amen, Dylan. America. But you know what I mean? Like it's like
drinking some Yingling at the
like
moment.
you said, it just comes up so often now that it's just so hard to get away from it. It's just become second nature, and it's just annoying. I don't know. I just get annoyed by it.
Yeah, it's difficult, and like, don't know how we get away from it without. I don't even know. I feel like with social media existing, it's very difficult to get away from the situation we're
I think
we never will.
Not that it's over, but we are far past the point of no return.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you? I think about this sometimes, and like realistically, like, is there a situation where social media ever goes away?
Worldwide EMP.
Can we get rid of it without like?
Yeah, Neuralink.
I just don't know how you get rid of it at this point. Like, I feel like it's so great. Like, you would destroy, like, I don't even know how many jobs the internet creates.
A lot.
Millions of jobs that, like, the internet has enabled. Not even it, but social media has enabled.
I don't think that social media will ever go away, or you'll ever be able to get rid of it.
Yeah.
I just think that it should be, I can't say it should be up to everyone, because it just, then that's your freedom of speech. Like you can choose to say and do what you want, but it's just become, social media is no longer a platform where people are connecting with friends, family, or connecting with other people and then sharing like interesting, exciting, fun things about their life that like they enjoy.
In their life.
That stuff like that. Now it's just specifically just become like you said it. I swear we talked about it on a podcast a long time ago, Dylan, and you brought up a good point with it. It's social media is basically like the new news. Like when something happens in the world, you turn on social media because it's gonna be there. Like you click on your Facebook and you see like who's posting about what. You click on Twitter and you see what's trending. Like that's just become how people get news and information, because it's much faster than the news, like you said. Like I swear you're the one that said it. Like if something happens. Okay, like how they used to do it. Okay, send a news story out there. They drive out there an hour. They report on the scene, the information they know, and then it gets sent back, and then you watch it at like 6 o'clock. Now, if something happens at 10 in the morning, you know about it in 5 minutes because it's on the internet.
That's also and that's also a reason why a lot of things at the beginning when they happen are so frantic, because 95% of the information that's being put out there is not from like a journalist. It's being put out there by who just took a video of it with their phone and was on the scene.
It's just like a first person encounter. You don't know the whole story. Yeah.
And until you get like the outside perspectives coming in and like the full story, that like you're 2 hours into the news story.
Exactly.
Like things are severely different half the time. And I think that back when it was only television, we didn't have like social media news cycle. I think it was more, there was that time between like when the thing happened and like when the news people would report on it, gave it enough time to be like a credible story.
To get all the information.
And that's why you see like fake news all the time, is because they're CNN and Fox News and all these organizations. I'm not giving them a card saying that they're good all the time, but most of the time it's because they don't have enough time to figure out what the fuck happened.
Yeah, I agree.
And then the initial story is always louder than the them coming back and fixing it.
Yeah.
The retraction.
One problem I have, I don't know if you guys agree with this. I don't want to say a problem, but one thing that definitely annoys me about social media is while I love to hear and I need to hear about like certain things that happen in the world that are like just completely wrong and like fucked up, whether it be, God forbid, like shootings or bombings or like anything among that nature. Although it's good to see so you can be informed and you can help be like a positive voice, it still just annoys me that like those people that bring these things or post these things like on their Instagram stories or post like anything to like their Twitter feeds and stuff, and if like if you happen to be like, okay, this shit's annoying, like I hate seeing everybody doing this, then like you turn into the bad guy, like, oh, you don't care. Like, no, I don't care. It's just not what I personally want to go on Twitter and see every 20 minutes somebody talking about like the same shit. That's just what annoys me about social media is it's so hard to get away from the things that you really don't want to hear about, but when you voice your opinion that you don't want to hear about them, then you look like the bad guy who doesn't care.
Yeah, and I think they act like that social media is your choice and you have the ability to curate what you see and all blah 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 blah. In reality, it's far from that.
Yeah.
And
except
I think
you can manipulate the TikTok algorithm to see what you want by reporting everything you hate and clicking on not interested and everything you don't like.
I mean, if you do that stuff on every platform, you can curate your profile.
I've been curating a lot of my TikTok because I
need to start doing that because my TikTok's becoming AIDS.
I need to do that on my Twitter, honestly.
It's so cancer, bro. I see way too much like communist shit and stupid shit that I just hate, and like, oh my god. It's because
you can do that you can do that on Twitter and stuff, and I honestly need to.
Yeah,
but
that's what I've been
some
doing.
of the stuff you can't get away from because a lot of things they come across your timeline because they're sponsored, they're ads. Like some things you just really can't avoid, and it's good for some of the stuff, but other stuff it just sucks. I don't know. I just feel like social media in general has just become like a platform for one thing right now, and it's politics, and it's you just can't anywhere you go, you just can't get away from it.
I think the other day, like Melissa showed me what was top trending on Twitter, and it was like hang Mike Pence or something.
Oh my god!
And like that shit, like Twitter should not like promote that as a trending topic. Okay,
how can Jack
maybe
Dorsey
it is
let that
trending,
happen?
but you should not, because when you put the word trending next to something, and then you like make it like all highlighted and everything, you're gonna bring a much larger audience than you would have had if you would have just shut the fuck up and said, like, pretended that wasn't happening. You're gonna ban the president of the United States, but you're not. You're gonna allow hang Mike Pence.
Oh yeah, because people are gonna go, wait, what the hell is this about? And then they're gonna click it, and then they're gonna read
and then they
stuff.
go into an
so
anger fest. They go into a situation where it's already at peak hostility. And so their brain instantly goes, I'm under attack by the other side.
Yep.
I need to defend myself. And
well, that's how
people.
That's how everybody is in this day and age. Everybody's become. I've said it multiple times, and I don't think I'll ever be able to say it enough. People are way too damn sensitive. You can't say one fucking thing nowadays without somebody being like, "What?
Yeah,
that hurt my feelings." Like, I don't give a shit about your feelings.
Both sides are extremely sensitive if you step on their fucking on their views. Like, I don't like. There was a long period of time where like it was. I think the Capitol riot is the biggest example of a situation where it shows that Republicans are just as sensitive when you step on their fucking beliefs.
Yep.
Like, they're just as much of a snowflake as any liberal because they literally stormed the Capitol building because of their political belief.
You wanna know why? You wanna know why I believe that? Is because everybody takes the side of the victim.
Yeah.
If you play the victim, you're in the clear.
Yeah.
Everybody
victims,
everybody takes the side of the victim. So no matter what happens, as long as you claim to be the victim, people are going to take your side.
Yeah, and that's also another big thing is like if you look at the United States, maybe not right now because it's coronavirus, but pre-coronavirus, we were in like one of the best situations we've ever been as a country.
Yeah.
maybe it's really hard to say that with Donald Trump existing in the world, but like
Take Donald Trump out of it, America was fucking booming.
Economically speaking and long term speaking, like we were on the track to be like continue like growing and growing as a nation and being prosperous.
Unemployment was at an all-time low.
Yeah, like all that stuff. Like those are all good signs of like, but because like our country is constantly since 1776 been at war, and like we're constantly looking for something to like
fight about,
like be victimized for. Like we looked inward and we destroyed ourselves by looking inward because like we were at its core, America's broken. Like the systematic, like the system that we have created is broken for the 21st century.
Yeah,
because
like,
it was written in 1776.
And to go off of that, like, that's 100% facts. Like, we haven't, like, we should have, like, thousands and thousands of amendments. What do we have, like, fucking, like, 49 or whatever? I don't fucking know. But, dude, like, I don't, like, just the social and racial tensions that, like, obviously back in 2016, like, do you remember in North Carolina when all those Trumpies, like, got crazed and started fucking, like, rallying or protesting or whatever? That was, like, Russian false information. Like, there are other countries trying to make us hate each other. And,
100%.
And we, like, just, like, buy into it so hard. Like, I don't know.
It's really, really hard to, like, determine. Because at the same time, there's people in this country doing the same exact thing. So
exactly,
like,
which is fucking whack.
Trent, there's 27.
27?
27.
There's 27 amendments
in 300 years.
Pretty much. That's crazy, dude.
We have thought of 27 things
27
that could
things
be better.
That could be better that we should follow.
And several of them are like amendments on the other amendment because we got rid of it.
It doesn't make fucking any sense to me. It
you
seems
know
like
something? Go ahead, finish.
It just seems like that's like how you're gonna keep the rich rich and the poor poor if you don't change anything.
Yeah. 27 amendments. We've been around for 300 years.
It's at its core, it's broken, and like I love our Constitution. I love our democracy, but at the same time, we need to think like people like Andrew Yang and other like forward thinkers, and we need to amend our Constitution, and we need to work towards like. There is no doubt in my mind that if we would just stop being fucking retards for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Sorry for my strong language. I know that's not a posh word anymore, but if we would stop being idiots for 10 seconds, then we would be fine. Like, we have the resources to build our infrastructure up again. We do another New Deal situation, and we're back in the fucking green again. Like, go full renewable energy. You have millions of jobs.
I think a lot
rebuilding our infrastructure.
I think a lot of it comes down to, though, it's just who are the people in charge of making those decisions. And unfortunately, a lot of them are extremely old white men who have been in the office, like, literally back to probably when civil rights was going on. Like, so much, like, that's a problem. I think, and I just believe in time. Yeah. I just believe in time, you know, we're going to get to a point where it's just going to self-correct. We talked about that the one episode too. We're just going to get to a point where it's going to eventually self-correct itself. Just like...
Or self-destruct.
Yeah.
Or I mean, it's already self-destructed. You could argue that right now it's already self-destructed.
Well, it's got a lot further to go, but...
it's starting to. It's, like... there's sparks. We're definitely seeing some sparks. It hasn't fully exploded yet.
There will always be two sides, but I even think, like, this generation of non-Trump Republicans are smart enough to, like, go in the right direction.
Oh,
like, I think, like, a lot of, like, my friends, like, from school that are, like, Republicans would support, like, rebuilding our infrastructure and going towards green energy. Like, I don't think, like, anybody in our age demographic is like, oil!
I know.
Let's go! Like...
Yeah.
No, I agree with that 100%.
I don't foresee, like, oil being, like, an argument in, like, 20 years from, like, the new generation of Republicans.
I mean,
like,
people are getting... I think it's safe to say that as generations go on, younger generations, I believe, are smarter and they're more knowledgeable than the generation before them. Like at that point in their life, like I mean, my mom and dad, like I don't know why I just said dad like that. Jesus, my accent that I don't have is coming out. That was weird. That was weird. I don't have an accent or say that was really strange. I've never done that before. Oh my god, that was awkward.
Get milk from the barn, Dad.
From the dad, yeah, my mom and dad. But I remember a few times back in high school, right? Or like even like early high school, like middle school. You're working on homework, and they have no idea what's going on because they're like, that's not what we did. Like you are learning more things and you're learning at a faster pace than the generation did before you at that stage in their life. Yeah. So that's why I believe in the whole self-correcting thing, because we're going to get to a point to where even like our children or our grandchildren, when they're in their 20s like we are now, they're going to be so much smarter and wiser because you just keep learning and you just keep getting information that you see in front of you and knowing right from wrong and knowing like a better solution. And I think that just comes with time. I mean, it sucks to say that we're in 2021 and we still have to be like, you still have to explain to people like how basic human rights should work and what's wrong truly and what's right. But you know, that's the beauty of life. You get idiots and you get geniuses, and unfortunately we got a lot of idiots. Yeah. But that's just how it goes.
I don't know. The other thing that worries me is there's like a big digital divide in the country right now. There's like a large percentage of the population that has absolutely no access to like free information and the internet.
Yeah.
And like that puts people behind a lot. Like we grew up in a rural area, but there are more rural areas. I don't think rural is a word.
Rural.
But rural is a but there are people that live in fucking bumfuck.
Oh, hell
who
yeah.
have absolutely no access to information.
Bumfuck, Alabama. Right out there.
People who go and ride the fucking Capitol building.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Back to your point, Brad, how you were saying, like, the self-correction. I would hope for that. Like, I would hope for us as, like, a people to go towards that. But then, like, unless we have, like, a Neuralink, like an Elon Neuralink, people are getting dumber. Like, people don't retain information. Like, the fact that, like it's proven our brains are, like, becoming, like, shittier because we're not remembering information. Easier. We're not recalling facts. We're going to a device that remembers all of our facts.
That's
and
so true.
Our brain is not holding any capacity, so it's like, what the fuck?
Because we've trained it to learn that it doesn't need to.
So we've created like if you've seen like kids nowadays on TikTok, kids, like some people are just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like just like
that's a really good point too. I didn't really think about it in that sense. I don't, and I agree with that. I do.
But
I do think
I'm
that
hopeful,
people are
like how you
definitely getting stupider. No, and that's where I was just gonna say I'm just hopeful it goes the other way. The
like
the
there
intelligent
is like a generation that uses this to learn.
Yes, the intelligent and the ones that use common sense. I'm hoping we can get to a point to where 30, 40 years from now, like they have such common sense of just how things should work in the world that they're gonna look back and be like, damn, were they really fighting about that shit in 2020? Like that's just so like.
And that really comes down to us and how we raise like the next generations and shit.
Well, I mean, I don't want to have fucking kids, but if I have to, I will.
Yeah.
I don't want no goddamn kids.
We got to figure out how to do it right.
Right.
When we do.
But
if we do.
Speaking of that, not speaking of children, I just wanted to say like one more thing that my I just have a good conversation this weekend with my sister and my cousin. We went to go visit her for my sister's birthday. We took my sister out to lunch. And my cousin brought up a really good point about how it's become the new normal. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, and I'm not saying like it's dumb, but I'm just saying it's become the new normal where we try to promote and we try to like influence people to like all that, like support your support like your black artists, support your black filmmakers, like support all this, right? and like you see those things on Twitter where it's like shop from this black entrepreneur. Like, yeah, I'm all for that. I don't care what they look like. I don't care what color their skin. And I'm not saying like it should be like shop for all people or we should support all people. I'm just saying like it just sucks that we've gotten to a point to where like people feel the need to be like shop black, support black. Like I've always support. What do you mean? Like I've been doing that like my whole life.
Yeah.
I don't need somebody to tell me to do this. I've always supported all people. I don't have a racist bone in my body. Like I don't give a crap what you look like, who you are, what you believe in. Like you're a human.
Yeah.
I'm gonna treat you like a human.
And you're gonna
it's just
consume
like
what you like, you know.
And that's like I understand and I sympathize and I understand why it needs to be done and why it needs to be said. But it just bothers me that like we have to say that because I've never thought otherwise. I've never been like, oh, you're black and you own the store, like I'm not gonna buy from you. Like no, never once has that even like come into a thought.
But once again, it's like I don't know who they're targeting those at because like I feel like the average person wouldn't care enough to like.
Why would I give two shits?
We don't live in like segregation era where you're not gonna go to someone's business because
exactly.
Okay, that's not. I don't know. See that you always have to have an asterisk because there are people.
You gotta be careful, Dylan.
There are people who do that, but those people are terrible human beings.
Yeah,
and
they're
I'm
just
not going to count them as the general
population. They're just simple-minded people.
Yeah.
Like they're just completely idiotic. But you get what I'm trying to say, though, right? Like it's just so dumb. We've come to a point in a time where like that needs to be said because, like Dylan said, there are people out there that do think like that, and it's just like, why? Like you got so much better things to do with your time in your life, or you should have so much better things to do in your time in life than be like prejudiced and hateful against people who don't look like you. Like it just pisses me off.
At the end of the day, if you really want to support black businesses, you need to support all small businesses and you need to create like actual systemic change when it comes to supporting those. We live in a big business country at the moment, and there's no doubt about it. Look at the stock market. Like that stock market ain't helping fucking Mary Lou who owns the flower shop on the corner.
You know who is helping though?
Yeah.
Dave Portnoy. Shout out Dave.
I mean, I guess the stock market could help Mary Lou if she would invest in the stock market.
Yeah, but
shout out Dave Portnoy. Yo, sponsor us or be a guest. Send this to Dave.
They should make a thing underneath. I don't know, man. That would be so hard to get into. But penny stock underneath a penny stock for small businesses that are worth like $50,000.
Half penny stocks.
Bro, that would be hot.
If the NASDAQ could find a way to bring in a way to invest in any business somehow.
Like,
are you saying make a stock market below the stock market?
Yeah, like a small business stock market where you could actually support the growth of the businesses in your area.
That'd be crazy, Dylan.
So you could actually support them by purchasing their products and you can invest in their equity. So how would they do that? They would have to be willing, so they would take that money and they would forward their business. That's like a great, that's fucking funny. But the problem is that a lot of those small businesses will go under, and a lot of the people that invest
that's the thing is there's
fucked.
Way more small businesses than there are multi-billion-dollar businesses.
Exactly.
So it would be a hard thing to do, but I think even just opening up, it maybe doesn't even have to be on like an official stock market, but opening up the ability to invest into your neighborhoods, I think.
Yeah.
Like maybe open up a market for I don't know, areas or something that you could invest into the growth of the entire area, like your city. You could invest into like the growth of Dunkirk or something.
Yeah, that would be interesting. That's really interesting.
Is that same?
What that technically would be is like I'm gonna like pay more money in taxes, so that money goes to like my local government, and like they will make more change. But you can't trust
and
that.
then you could write that, do tax incentives like write-offs where you can pay more in local taxes or something to go towards like the growth of the area or something.
Yeah, I agree.
Bro, that's a mad good idea.
That's why I think more. I wonder if there would be a way in the future to do that where you have. I mean, you're always gonna have to pay taxes. I had no so like funny story, right? My dad, he was like he got home the one day and he was like opening up the mail and like the one thing was it was being sent, it was under his name or whatever because it was our taxes, like house, property, like all this shit. And my dad was like, he was just laughing. He's like, oh, he's like, you see this? He's like, wait till you're us one day and you have a house and like you live somewhere and like blah blah blah. And I was looking at it and like that shit is so expensive for like owning land and like being within the school district and like all this other shit. I was like they charge you like $500 for being like in the school district or whatever like that. I was like, that is nuts.
No, property taxes are fucking insane.
I was like, holy shit. I was like, you guys always pay this much? She's like, roughly. I was like, oh my God. Like, it's just stuff like that. But I wonder if, I mean, school taxes. Now, I might be stupid, but I'm going to ask the question anyway. Does all of that money go to the school?
I would assume. I mean, like, the taxes you pay for local stuff usually pays for a couple things. It pays for your school district. It pays for, like, the police, like, the sheriffs and stuff. And because most of the time it's the county sheriffs that patrol, like, Forestville.
Yeah.
And it pays for, like, I don't know, because Forestville's a little weird because it's not really a
Forestville
big
doesn't even
area.
technically exist anymore, right? Isn't it
But
just like the towns
should
that
pay
handle it?
It should pay for police, firefighters, schools, and, like, any other, like, road work and stuff like that.
Well, Forestville does not have their own police officers. There is no like Forestville sheriffs. We should just have one sheriff. It's just a small building. He sits at one desk. Yeah, he just rides on a horse around. Like that's good enough. But
I'm sure at one point in Forestville's history there was just a sheriff.
I wonder. Yo,
he had the star on his chest.
Mrs. Becker's definitely listening, so I'm gonna ask Mrs. Becker. Have we ever had a sheriff in Forestville, Mrs. Becker, that you know of? Please respond if you have. I just want to know, yes or no. I love when she texts me and tells me stuff about like. I sent you? I sent you guys that message. It was like 11:18 on like a Friday night. She's like, "Hey, I just got to the part about the eggs being frozen." She's like, "I'm so surprised," and I was laughing so hard. I was like, "Hey," I was like, "I appreciate you listening at 11:30 at night." But shout out Mrs. Becker. Much love.
Shout out Mrs. Becker. I love you. You're the best. Thanks for listening.
Toddy Boy would probably know the best about anything about local history.
Yeah, definitely. He knows everything about history. He's a history fanatic.
Email, Dylan.
You should.
Send him a fat email.
Hey, yo.
Send him a Facebook message right now.
Toddy Boy, got a question for you. Oh, that's funny.
I think Forestville has a historian. I think it's a dude that lives, like, going up your road. Like, with all, like, the wooden... Like, yeah, you're going up your road. Like, when you're coming out of Forestville, like, when you take that right, like, when you go over the bridge and go up the hill a little bit, there's, like, that dude with all, like, the wooden... Like, the fence that's all, like, kind of Civil War looking. And he's got, like, lighthouse and everything in the back.
Yeah, what the hell is his name?
What you talking about?
His name is, I know his name, too, because his daughter... Was his daughter? His granddaughter is a lab teacher at, Fredonia State.
Yeah.
Because I said something, because... Shout out Titty Boy. Tyler and I had lab with her. What the hell was her name? Her name was Mel. Her name was Mel something. And we had lab with her, and Tyler just mentioned something. Or I think he was wearing a Forestville basketball sweatshirt. And she's like, "Are you from Forestville?" And he's like, "Yeah, me and Brad both are." And then she's like, "Oh," she's like, "My father or whatever, like, from Forestville." And she actually lives in the lighthouse house. You know, the top of it? Yeah, right above him. Yeah. The house right above him. Because they're they're related. And I don't know what the hell is. I'll have to ask my mom and dad because they know it. And I'll text you.
Yeah, he came and I don't. It might have been.
You
one
think it's
had,
him?
I'm 99% positive. The dude, one of the dudes who lives on that road. It's the dude with like the wooden like fence out front.
The house on the right, right before the lighthouse.
On the right, yeah.
Across from that barn.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
I think so. But I'm pretty sure he's like the historian for Forestville. Because Toddy Boy's the historian for Pomfret. Like the weird part of Fredonia.
Yeah.
Huh.
I gotta
Good old Toddy.
Toddy. Good old Toddy boy.
I want to become a historian of a small town.
I want to
should
be
be
the
doing.
historian. You know, like when you like come up to my like house area before you take the left on 39, there's a sign that says Nashville. And technically, I live in like Nashville, New York. I don't know what that means, but I want to be the historian of Nashville.
I don't know how much has happened in Nashville.
Dude, I'm pretty sure there used to be a corner store and a church.
Ooh. There you
There's
go.
probably a sheriff.
I mean, yeah, true that.
Maybe. I'd have to do some digging.
That's interesting. I didn't actually know there was a sign that said that.
Yeah, dude, it's weird. And there's like the church is right past the sign too.
Yeah.
So, weird.
I don't know her name. I'll have to ask my mom today. Because I know exactly who he is. I know exactly like the house you're talking about, and I know what my mom and dad know.
Forestville historian. It's got to be on the internet.
I shall show good all day. Forestville. Forestville historian. But while I'm looking this up, I already told you guys, but I want to fucking bring it out. Your boy got a job. Ooh, boom. Big jobs.
Let's go.
Big jobs. I have accepted a job as a personal trainer at Crunch Fitness in Hamburg. I don't know all the details yet about everything that it's going to entitle. It was the weirdest, by far the weirdest interview, if you even want to call it an interview, if you consider an interview like a 3-minute phone call, the weirdest interview I've ever had. It was extremely awkward. It was like this dude called me, and he's like the regional manager of like all like the crunches in like the Buffalo area. And he's like, "Hi, how you doing? Like, can I speak to Bradley?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "All right, we had a call scheduled at 4:00. He's like, "It's 3:57." He's like, "Should I call back in 3 minutes, or is this a good time?" And I was like, "Nah, it's good." And I was like, "How's it going?" And then he was like, good. And he's like, "So tell me a little bit about yourself." And I literally just like started telling him, and he like, I just started off. I was like, "Oh, I'm 23 years old. I just graduated college." He's like, "Oh, hold up, right there." He's like, "Just tell me about your fitness career." And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Well, I just graduated college with a degree." I was like, "I got certified through the National Academy of Sports Medicine." I was like, "I've never been like actually employed by any place as a legitimate trainer." I was like, "I've been working on my own. Like I've helped family and friends here and there, like little stuff, but never actually had like a real job in it." He's like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, interesting. He's like, and then he's like, "But yeah, we want to offer you the job." And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Okay." And like, he's like, "All right, yeah, I'll have the HR people get a hold of you, and they'll get everything situated, and then the trainer at the gym in Hamburg will get in touch, and we'll get you all set up." And I was like, "Oh, all right, thank you." I mean, he said a little bit about like the money too, and I guess because of where I rank as far as like having a degree and a certification already and not needing like training in that aspect prior to like getting the job or like working, I already start off at an elite level for like the pay. So I'll make the minimum wage $12.50 hourly, and then for every session that I do training wise, I want to say it's every hour session that I do with a client, I make $28.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's pretty damn good to start. Like, I'm not gonna argue. It can go all the way up to, I think it can go all the way up to like 45, he said. So it's pretty decent. I mean, yeah, the hourly only making minimum wage isn't the greatest, but I get to make, if I train 3-4 people a day, 28 times, however many people, add that to the hourly wage. Like that's a lot when you think about it. That's literally if I train one client, if I train one client in an 8-hour day, that's basically like working a 10+ hour day for only 8. So it's good. It'll add up. I'm excited to get in there, but super nervous. Told the guy on the phone, I was like, "Yeah, I got a lot to learn, and I got a lot of stuff to find out how to do for the first time, but I definitely have confidence in my ability." I'm not nervous about, talking to people and instructing people and helping them. I'm just nervous, like, doing, like, the trainer bullshit where, like, you start them off and you, like, learn their medical histories and, like, all the stuff that they can or can't do, and then getting them, like, a detailed, sophisticated program for them. Like, I have no doubt I'll be able to do it, but I've just never done it before, so I'm just, like, nervous to, like, get into the flow of that, but I'm assuming the people there will, hopefully the head trainer there will be a guiding light and help me.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're gonna go into there the first day, and they're gonna give you the system that they have in
Yeah,
place,
I
which
bet.
is nice. Like, you would just have to follow like the way they do it,
Yeah.
and then you just bring in your knowledge on
Yeah.
top of that. And
Yeah,
you're fine.
I hope more or less. I don't want to say I hope it's like a cookie cutter system, then I don't have to think. But I hope it's not like, I walk in the first day and then somebody walks in the door and they ask to like be trained by a trainer and they're like, all right, Brad, go ahead, have a good time. I'll be like,
Yeah.
well, what do you mean? Like, I'm new at this. What do I start with?
don't
What do
think
I do?
I'm
Like,
gonna do that.
I have training and I have information and like steps to follow from like my NASM certification, like stuff that like the book says on how to
Yeah.
take it. But everybody's different, like they could have a system that they have implemented and in place. And I could be like, well, that's not how I learned it in, my NASM certification. And they'll be like, well, we're not NASM, we're Crunch Fitness. This is how we do it. So yeah, it's definitely all going to be a learning curve. I could walk in there and going to be like, forget everything you know. You don't know shit. I'll be like, damn it. But no, I'm excited. I mean, I'm nervous like anybody would be starting like, hopefully starting their career. I'm air quoting starting their career with my fingers because who knows. But I'm definitely excited to finally be doing something in the field that I want to be doing something in.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Good
It's
shit,
fucking-
Ricky.
That's a big fucking step, Ricky.
I know,
That's
right?
fucking lit.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited.
I'm happy for you, brother. That shit's
Thanks,
hype.
man.
Taking
Hopefully
a big rip tonight for you, boy. At Red
Hey,
Extra
there we go.
Podcast.
She said the guy, his name's Cody, I guess, like the head trainer. He's gonna get a hold of me and like, get me set for like coming in on like my first day. But I assume he'll call me tomorrow and we'll set that up because I haven't got a phone call tonight. So I doubt I'm gonna. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna get a phone call at like fucking 7 o'clock in the morning. Just be like, all right, you ready to come in today?
Yeah.
Like, whoa, hang on, dude. But
It's
I
just
was
like
reading
super
I
high
know. Can you
energy.
imagine?
Are you ready?
It's 5:30 in the morning and I get a phone call. He's like, "You better get your ass up. It's time to work." I'd be like, "Oh my god."
Crunch Fitness hit different.
I was reading their handbook a little bit already, just like some of the stuff and just normal like handbook stuff at a job, and it just seems pretty. I already wanted to know because I was talking to my dad about it because I was trying to find in the handbook where it says about like if you like let's say you are at the grocery store and I'm buying groceries and some guy comes up and he's like, "Hey man, do you work out?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like I'm a trainer over at blah blah blah." And he's like, "Oh, would you train me?" Like, even though I bring that person in, I can't like do like an under the table like training fee for them. Like it has to go through the gym and then through me. It's not like, and that's what they said. Like if you try to do any bullshit like that, because that's what I was curious about. I was like, well, if I bring like, what if I want to bring people in and like I don't do it through the gym, but I'm bringing people in and training them? Like, do I get to keep more of the money or like how does that work? But that's illegal under their terms, so don't do that. But because my dad asked me, because my dad wanted to know how it all worked as far as like the money and the people. He's like, well, do you have to bring the people in? Do they bring the people into you? And I assume it's just like most gyms do, where it's kind of just like a ladder system where like somebody comes in and they give them to trainer A and somebody comes in and the next person gets to the next one and the next person gets to the next one.
Yeah.
It has
But,
like
you
on
can
my
definitely try to like market yourself and get people.
Oh, I'm
to,
gonna.
like, yeah.
I'm gonna
For
for
sure.
sure. I'm gonna I've wanted to for the longest time. I wanted to just like make up business cards and just put like my certification on there and just like my name and my phone number and stuff and like I'll have like a Crunch email. I wanted to do that because I have no doubt I'll be able to like walk around the floor at Crunch Fitness and just start conversations with people because I'm really good at talking to people. So
Mhm.
once I do that, like I have no doubt I'll be able to like get some people that might not know exactly what they're doing. I'll be like, hey, come train me one time, see if you like it. Like I'll guide you in the right direction, and then from there, that's how you get those clients that like really trust you and want to stay with you and continue to work with you like 2 times a week as time goes on. So
100%, bro. And if you can like get your numbers like, and you can like figure out how many like fucking things you need, you could be making like, you say $28 an hour of like training.
I believe so. I'm not sure how long. I'd have to double check. Most gyms they charge on like an hour session. Some gyms do a half an hour. I'll just look up Crunch personal training. But
Man,
like
that
yeah, so I
really
mean like,
seems
and if
that's
that even if
hot.
that's a half an hour, let's see.
It's probably
So-
more beneficial of it.
Okay, so yeah, so at Crunch At Crunch, I guess it costs. This is just on Google, so I don't know how accurate this is from like location to location, but it says they cost about $100 to $155 per hour at Crunch. So does seem kind of a little shittier that I make 28 of that, but
Yeah, I
I'm
was
not
just gonna say this.
But
So
That's
fucked.
like
beggars can't be choosers. So
It's like
I'm not
20
gonna sit here and
days
be like,
worth.
oh,
But, like,
you're
then
making
they would
100.
also
I
pay
want at
you
least half.
hourly, so-
I have to say that is way better than like offer like
Yeah.
Pittsburgh wise that I got. They wanted to pay me $7.25 an hour and give me $6 per half an hour session. So we're already in a way better spot. So I will take it. I say thank you, sir. Can I have some more? And we are good to go. I am not gonna complain from that. So that's like I was actually really shocked when he said it because I was expecting some like low ass like bullshit like $10 per
Yeah.
session. When he's like, yeah, they'll start off at like 28 and you can all the way up to like 45. I was like, all right, now we talking.
Yeah.
Damn,
But-
bro, I'm happy for you, man. Good shit.
Yeah, me too. I hope it works out. I hope it's something I have, like I said, I have no doubt in my ability to like get in there, learn, and excel. It just depends on
No doubt.
those reviews I read on Indeed.com. I'm curious to see like how the industry works from a gym standpoint of like, you know, the higher up managers and like those people who like own, run, or like pay out, and then like, you know, my boss, quote unquote boss, like if he's a nice guy, if he's a dick, you know, I'm nervous to see all that shit, but because that'd literally be like the only
100%.
like thing that I would be like, oh, this sucks. Like if I'm working with or for somebody that's just like not helpful, like complete asshole, like shit like that, then it's just gonna really kill it for me. It's just gonna kill the mood.
You
But
gotta
I'm
pray
excited.
For the best, Ricky.
True.
I gotta take
Pray
a hot piss real quick.
Pray for the best,
Yeah.
pray for the best, expect the worst. What you gotta
True
do.
that.
I'm looking forward to it though.
I have an interview on Thursday.
Ooh, where at?
This is more for like a part-time thing.
Mhm.
It's for like real estate photography,
Oh, nice.
and it's just like a company around here that does like real estate photography. But
Sounds dope.
I thought that would be a good like thing, like a side gig to do, like even just on the weekends or something.
hell
It's
yeah.
like part-time.
You just taking
'Cause it
pictures
was-
of like houses and shit?
Yeah, just like taking pictures of like houses
That's
and
cool.
like properties and stuff like that.
Good.
And honestly, yeah, that's doing that kind of stuff long term would be kind of fun, just like as like a supplemental like income.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah,
Like-
any of those things you can do on like the side or like the part time, like, you know, if you did that as like a part time job, even if you had like a full time job, like 2 hours on the
Yeah.
weekend, you went and took pictures of like
Yeah.
there's Trent with his goods. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
though.
100%.
That's awesome.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm excited about it. Hopefully the interview goes well. I'm supposed to be hearing back from the PA Dems hopefully tomorrow. I feel like I'm gonna get blown off because I hate this job market so much. It's so
Yeah.
annoying.
Tell
It's
me
just
about
like constantly like getting my hopes up about stuff, and then like
Mm-hmm.
I just get like you just get treated like garbage.
it. Yep.
It's
Yeah.
a fun time.
Tell me about it. I'm surprised that like as quick as I applied to like places in Buffalo, that this place
Yeah.
was like that quick to get back to me, and then like literally they've never seen my face before and they offered me the job. So it's kind of strange,
Yeah,
but
sometimes like yeah, that's how like For Our Future kind of was. Like I got that job so quick in comparison to like
Mhm.
everything else. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you just get lucky and like a company like genuinely
yeah.
needs what you as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Or just,
I'm curious to know, cause like I have no, not TechCrunch.
Cheers to you, Mr. Bradley Denenberg.
Thank you, sir. Light one up for me.
Anyone out there on the podcast, if you're bored and you fucking are trying to rip with us. Cheers.
Light it up. But what I was gonna say was, on my like employee already, like I have like an account on like the Crunch like employee thing where I go into my name and shit. Jesus Christ, Trent. I logged in and it had like on the side I had to fill out like all their like info, those like release forms, the W's, the I-9s, like all the bullshit. And to the right, it already had like it said my team, and it only had like the lead trainer under my team. So I don't know if like it only shows me him, or if that only means that like it's literally me and him. Which I'm starting to think that might be the case, considering like how fast they got back to me as far as like, yeah, we'd like to hire you. So it seems like he's like the only dude there, which honestly might be the best case scenario. Like that might be really cool. Like just having like one guy like off the start, like just me and him, and like I go to him with like all my questions and he helps me out, and then like we just grow it.
Yeah, that was very similar to like the LA Fitness situation here. Like the opportunity to start at the bottom of like their like and build up as like the company.
Yeah,
or, like
that's what they
because there's like
said.
nobody that's like a better situation. Like I would love to get in like a situation like that.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
As long as it's not like the place is gonna go out of business.
Yeah.
It's that bad.
Yeah, because the LA Fitness, like I told you about that obviously because I was like there. The LA Fitness, that one was like really interesting because that guy it's just weird how they do it, like how he explained it to me. Like he's basically like the head trainer, but he's not like a trainer. He's just like the guy that like oversees the trainer, and he's the one that like writes the programs and like the plans for the people, and then you're basically like the puppet, and you go out there and you do it, and you like revert back to him. But he said that he was like our age, and he was like, I've been here for like 4 months. He's like, I've been looking for trainers, looking for people. I was literally like the first person that he offered the job to. He's like, really, it's like you and me right now, and then we'll get more people on board. And I was like, no offense, man, but like that just sounds a little sketchy, especially because I have to move to another state. Like that just sounds a little sketch to be like, oh yeah, fuck it, I'll put all my faith in you. I've never met you. I'll just drop everything, move out there.
You've been there for 4 months.
I know, really. You've been there for 4 months, so my guy. Expendable. And so that was one of the ones where I was like, ugh. And that's why I like, and another reason, I was so eager to like take this job is because like it's 45 minutes from my house. So, you know, if it turns out to not be for me or not be something I like, it's not like I, uprooted my whole life and moved away. Like we're still good. But I'm excited.
It's close enough where you can give it a shot.
Exactly. I'm excited to finally have an option in my choice, my field choice, my career choice that I can begin with. So we will see. Stay tuned.
Hell yeah.
Heels.
We hype over here and extremely stoned in Bradley's.
Well, what's your hot stock right now, Trent?
Hot stock.
What's your favorite one that you have in your portfolio besides Tesla?
Fucking, oh my god. There is so many hot stocks if you had to ask me. I'm big on nano dimensions. Bro, they're 3D. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm really high. But they have nano
dimensions. Sounds like the highest stock ever.
Bro, it's 3D printing nanotechnology. So they're combining the two. And nano, like, is like that super small shit. Like super tiny.
Yeah, like the nanobots that like can go in like for medical stuff that like.
Correct, 150%. And they use that shit to build electrical circuits with their 3D printing technology.
Yeah.
And like they have sold 60 units previously, like, and that's the only thing they've sold as an entire company of their old product. And they have like 100 million market cap, 90 million in market cap, 60 products. So, like, if they can like really sell these fucking 3D printers,
it's all about scaling production.
Yeah. So like for the next
for a lot
few
of
years,
these really hot companies.
Yeah, that shit.
The only thing is, nanobots scare me, man. I think it's called gray goo. I think that's like the theory that eventually, like if you like make nanotechnology, eventually they'll learn to self-replicate, and they'll just keep replicating until the entire planet's covered in like this goo from like all the robots.
Yes, robot goo.
So that's funny. Not a great situation. So hopefully
keep them inside the 3D printer. Don't let them get out and learn.
That shit scares me sometimes. There's a lot of like doomsday scenarios in tech that, like, by investing in these companies, could. I think about that a lot. I think it's me being more involved in politics. Like when I invest in a stock, it has to be I have to agree with like the direction they're going.
100%.
Like I'm very anti like investing in Chinese stocks because I don't agree with the way that the Chinese government operates, and I don't want to by investing in stocks like Neo and Alibaba and stuff. You're investing in the Chinese government.
Yeah.
And
it means you're pretty much for censorship.
Like obviously, yes, you're gonna make money off it because like those stocks grow like with China and everything. But as a personal thing for me, like I can't justify investing in the Chinese government.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know. And
no more big government.
Like Tesla hitting like $850 means that we're going to get electric cars. Like everybody's going to get electric cars. Like that's a good thing. We invested in a company that is going to benefit the long term of the country.
Yeah, bro.
And yes, it's stupid that Tesla stock is $850 after a split.
Which, like, in reality, they are worth so much right now. Like,
I would much rather Elon Musk be the richest man on the planet than Jeff Bezos. Personally.
True.
They're both have their drawbacks. Obviously, every going to future be trillionaire does have drawbacks.
Yeah.
But Elon Musk is thinking in a direction that I prefer in comparison to Mr. Bezos.
Yeah, I was reading something that, like, well, a tweet back from Elon Musk way back in the day that, like, half of his purpose, like, half of his money he wants going towards, like, protecting the earth and making it more sustainable, and the rest keeping life sustainable off the earth. Yeah. And, like, I was actually looking into some stuff Jeff Bezos was doing. He had, like, this $10 billion project. Like,
the clock?
What is it?
Well, there's you could be talking about some other $10 billion project. He has a clock in a mountain, but which one's yours?
That seems pretty fucking worthless and shitty. But it was like his money was like it's going towards like climate change and shit. $10 billion towards climate change and shit, which like I feel like is important. Like
no, 100%. I'm not saying Jeff Bezos is not putting is like. Because Amazon is one of those companies that I'm sure is touting zero emissions at some point.
Yeah.
And, like, long term, that's good. But long term, like, societally, Amazon is hurting. Like, us pretty, like, destroying small business. Yeah. It is, like...
And, like...
I mean, it's destroying small business the way we think of it right now, like, brick and mortar small business. It is creating a lot of like Shopify and like third party selling on Amazon and stuff is making it a lot of people a lot of money right now.
But then Amazon will see what products are selling well, and I think we've already talked about this. They'll create the Amazon Basics, and they will literally fuck them out of the market just like they were doing in.
Exactly. So people make money for a short period of time. These small businesses, if you want to call them, make this money, and then Amazon literally just takes all that data and fucks everybody out of the market. And
so yeah,
it's a constant cycle. But
oh god,
I don't know.
So Amazon's
Jeff Bezos literally, if you want to put two people next to each other, Jeff Bezos. When he built his new house, he bought all the properties around the house so nobody lived near him. And he built this insanely expensive house. Elon Musk, on the other hand, just sold all of his property and literally owns like nothing at the moment because he wanted to prove a point that he is actually like 100% like down to go to Mars for like everybody to see that. But there are still a lot of Elon Musk like haters and out there that are gonna say whatever, but I don't know, man. If
everybody gonna hate,
it's easier to hate.
I'm just sucking Elon Musk's dick at this point, but that man is gonna help us out long term. And when we write about it in the history books,
I would rather be an Elon dick sucker going down in the history books because then we'll be the people that invested in probably the smartest man ever, the richest man ever, who will be more rich than Melissa.
You're not
And
wrong.
bro, like
Yeah.
I don't know. He's already created like rockets that can be reused.
Yeah.
Like bro,
It's just the crazy thing is like at the end of the day, this stuff was going to inevitably happen. Like there are so many markets that have been stagnant for like 150 years. Like nothing has changed.
it's crazy when you
that's
realize that, like looking at the stock market and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
there are so many things that have been stagnant. Like I watched a
Like
video with the dude
insurance.
who made like the raw wrappers for like the joints and stuff. He was
Mhm.
talking about how like the rolling paper market was controlled by one company in Italy for like 100 years, and nothing changed because it was literally just one company making all like the shitty like paper, like not natural rolling papers for so
fucking
long, like the
stupid.
cigarette papers
Yeah.
Yeah.
for stupid long, and he was the first person to just go in there and be like, there's no other person in this market. There's like
Yeah.
you could literally just change it in a better direction.
And that's another stock of the day, Transenteric, the company that's doing like minor invasive surgeries with robots or whatever, the robot technology. Mr. Shout Out Interesting Investing told me about this stock.
Oh, shout
We
out
are
interesting
invested
investing.
in it together.
Yeah.
And they're only like $1 and some change, but there's one other person in the market, and their share price is like $860. They own like 100 billion market cap. So their market share is like insane. They own pretty much the entire market. So if this little player that's $1 and I own a few shares and they fucking start eating away at this share, like fucking taking that away, that's literally like that's how you fucking
exactly.
It's so easy to gain
mean,
market share when there's only one player.
Yeah, it's crazy because like if you look at like Tesla's situation, everybody else in the automotive industry, like their like share price is so fucking low
Because
in comparison.
Yeah, that is actually
like they didn't even have to eat away at that. Like they just innovated.
Well, because it's just because they're not
they're not an
automotive company. Like because
It's
Elon's
like
a genius.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what it comes down to.
He's a genius.
Saw one of those Ford cars driving around today. One of those self-driving things. I'm gonna look it up. I want to see if they're using like a third-party company.
They
think
they have to be.
It's called Argo. I think the company's called Argo.
I think we've talked about this, or I've seen, because they literally, which makes them unable, like, for them to build cars like electric vehicles at the same rate with inferior like.
Yeah, this is it. It's their website's argo.ai. For anybody who's interested in this weird self-driving thing. But I don't know if it's like this is all just under Ford. Does Ford own this? It's in Pittsburgh. Like the company is based out of Pittsburgh. That's why there's a whole bunch of them.
I wonder if you can invest in Argo. I don't think so.
Or at least there's an Argo AI in Pittsburgh. There might be. I don't know if they're based out of here, but they have a thing here. Carnegie Robotics.
That sounds sketchy.
Robotics.
I don't want to see like a fucking robotic Andrew Carnegie that just owns the robot market. And he created himself out of a street robot.
Everything's gonna
still exists.
just happen.
That seems fucking ridiculous.
Before he died, he sold like a majority of everything. Like he sold all of his steel holdings and everything. He completely sold everything, and he died stupid rich because of it. And he just after like he sold out of that, he just started building libraries and all this stuff. Because he's a weird man. He was like a very egotistical man who just like really wanted everybody to like think highly of him, but he was a really terrible human being.
Yeah.
Like when you actually got near him, But on the outside perspective, he really, like, in the news cycle and everything, he wanted everybody to think that he was, like, this amazing person. So if you look around Pittsburgh, like, he built so much shit for the public. Like, UPitt is, like, all... Like, UPitt would not exist without that money. Like, he built that camp, like, a lot of the shit on that campus. And, like, all the libraries. There's, like, thousands of Carnegie libraries across the country that he put his money into.
It's funny to think
Just for
about.
public good.
Yeah, he didn't even do that for... Did he do that for public good, or did he do that to make his own ego look good?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like Jeff Bezos putting $10 billion towards climate change.
I don't think he's doing that. I think he's doing that to not look like an asshole because he's the richest person ever. Like, one of them.
Yeah.
That's just seems
like
so
Jeff
fucked
Bezos,
up.
like, yeah, they're two different people, but like at the same time, it's like philanthropism at that level most of the time is like they're trying to cover their asses.
Yeah.
They're putting their money towards things. Yeah, they could care about, but most of the time it's PR related.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
And it's not like
Andrew Carnegie was doing that in the 19th century.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're rich, like, you're not entitled to fucking, like, spend your money how you want. But if you're the richest person in the world, and the world is, like, going to shit, I would feel entitled to try and save it. Like Elon.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like Jeff Bezos is just like, I don't know.
Honestly, I think an interesting read, if anybody wants to go look for a book, would be to look at, I think one of the books that I read for, like, when I was doing my research for Homestead, was about Carnegie, like Rockefeller, and someone else, like all the barons back then, and like the steel baron and the oil baron and the banks. Oh, whatever what the fuck is that big bank?
Goldman Sachs.
Morgan. No, the Morgan.
JP
one.
Wentworth.
JP Morgan. It's like
877 caution.
Oh, JG Wentworth.
But
Not sponsored.
yeah, it would be very interesting to compare like those people to like the richest people nowadays and see how they act similarly.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I
wonder.
Did you like my screenplay there, Trent?
I fucking loved
that
it.
made
man.
my day. I was so happy.
Bro.
I almost cried a little.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I cried after finishing it. It was like a weird morning. Like, I woke up at 5, and like it was just such a weird morning. And when I was already like page 30, so and I read that like 3 times because I started it by myself, and I started it with Gina, and then fucking I read it again full through, and fucking man, it took me so long, but it just slapped page after page, and like I just kept like thinking about it. Like, I would be like caught up in how caught up I was like in the story. And I'm like, how is this even captivating me so much? I was like, this is like Dylan's just creating straight art, and I just felt so proud of you. Like, when like, and then like when shit would happen, I'd be like, oh my god, how is he thinking of this shit? Like, and like, bro, it just like made me so happy, and like just so happy for you. And like, I don't know, I literally was like crying at the end of it. I was like, man, that shit hit different. It was really awesome.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna finish it.
Did you like the scene in like the fashion show or whatever? That's my favorite scene that I wrote.
The fashion.
Like, where
yes. With Madam Byron.
Yeah.
Yes. Dude, that just like, that gave me Assassin's Creed vibes. Like, and then how there was like a character that you didn't know, and then comes back to be important, and like it's just like,
Don't spoil it. I'm
sorry,
gonna finish it. I'm finishing
it. Feels like it's just such
I'm
like
literally finishing it.
like movie quality, like stream.
You should have reminded me. I could have read this when I was fucking sick with COVID, laying on my bed.
Yes, that should have been. But you'll read.
I don't know
dude.
where I picked it up one day, started
you'll
reading
get
it, and I
caught
don't know where
up
I
in
left
it,
off.
And you'll just be straight fucking like.
I'm just gonna start it over, honestly, because I know I read the first couple pages, like the first couple days that Dylan gave it to me, but then I never like finished it and kept with it. I'm just gonna start it over. I'm literally gonna
Tell
read
you.
it.
Give it a hot
Once you get in
reset,
it,
it'll take
I'm
you,
gonna
like-
read it tonight before I go. I'm gonna start reading it again tonight before I go to bed.
If you read it all the way through at a flat reading rate, it should take like how long? Is
2
it?
hours?
I don't even know how many pages it is. 116 minutes.
It is.
yeah, it took me like I would say probably like 3 hours, and like that was just
115.
because I don't know why I was reading so slow, but like, or if I was reading slow, and I would take like mini breaks.
It's so
Like,
cool.
Yeah.
And I had to walk
I gotta
Nipsey,
finish it, dude.
but-
It's so cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It made me want to read it again. I honestly haven't read it. I don't think haven't mentioned that it actually got a semifinal.
Yeah,
Awards
you
the other
posted
day.
about that.
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
Did you?
Melissa
Is
for
it? Is the
Christmas-
voting over with?
Yeah, for that one.
Okay.
It's like they do like monthly.
Oh,
It was
okay.
like for a monthly one. But yeah, that kind of gave me like hope, and it made me want to like keep doing stuff with it because like I haven't really thought about it too much.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah, I'm definitely.
yeah,
I'm
it made me
definitely going
happy.
to
But
restart
yeah,
it
I won
and
a
finish it.
semifinalist award. Like
Like,
it was second place, which was pretty cool.
that's so fucking lit.
GoFundMe donors.
I don't know. We gotta like. I'm about to like fucking make a TikTok, like one of those TikToks. It's like, this is for Netflix, Netflix only. Scroll if you're not Netflix. Scroll if you're not Netflix. Okay, now that Netflix is here, I gotta talk.
Yes.
It just feels like
Power
it could
corrupts
like.
everyone the same. Homestead is the beginning. Time continues. The revolution never ends. Phronesis. What does phronesis mean?
That's like the end story. Phronesis, which is like intelligence. But that's like when
I apologize
Or
that I never
disappears?
finished this, but I promise you I'm going to finish it ASAP. I extremely apologize. I never actually finished this, Dylan.
you're good, brother. It just out of nowhere read it and it made me very happy.
No, I mean
It was-
I start like I said I started it like within that first couple of days that you dropped it off the house, and then for some reason just like kind of just like had it out of my mind, and then it was sitting. I literally knew exactly where it was on my shelf because I was like, oh my god, I put that on my shelf over there.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
have
I gotta go pick that shit up. No, I'm
I have
definitely gonna
3
finish it.
copies of it in my house actually.
Let's go. I'm definitely
Bro,
gonna
Because
finish
I
it.
have mine, I have Melissa's, and I have one that I never got to give to my professor because of COVID.
Right?
Dude,
Did you send one to
Gina-
Toddy Boy?
No, I didn't.
No.
I gave it to the core group.
Nice.
Mm.
I'm excited.
I'm definitely gonna have Gina read it with me because I like literally I didn't describe it to her, but I was just like saying how like like crazy it was, and she was like, "We gotta finish reading it," and I was like, "I know you gotta hop in on this shit." So I'm definitely reading it again
Yeah.
soon when she gets back from the long distance. Which actually, boys, in fucking what is it? 8 days, I will be able to see my girlfriend for the first time in 2 months or whatever.
Go.
So
Those
it's been.
breaks suck ass.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
I'm so happy
feel
for
you.
you.
Hey, you got a job, mister.
I know this.
Don't.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
take your wins.
I ain't need
You
no
gotta
women. I got a job now.
That's true.
True that.
Hey, man, maybe you'll
Making
find
money.
like a fit ass honey. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna be.
She gotta be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna be
Hopefully
out there
she's
sweating
tall,
it
though.
up.
As much as I don't want to marry a taller chick, I gotta regrow the gene pool. We're getting shorter. We're getting shorter. If my sister's any indication, we're in for it. It's not looking good.
Netherlands, I believe.
When
the
your
Netherlands
firstborn-
has the tallest.
When your
women.
firstborn comes out 5'2", something ain't right there. Oh, I'm gonna rip this meme, boys.
Like,
This one made me
Rip it.
laugh. I'm gonna rip this meme right here. All right. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to your favorite segment of the Socially Distant Podcast, the Meme of the Week. As always, I'm coming at you with the Meme of the Week. We are in episode 41, Season 3, premiere, starting off strong with a meme brought to you by the Nugget Instagram page. Of course, not a sponsor. A good fire meme for you. This one really made me laugh because I agreed with everything on the on the guy's shirt. We got a guy wearing a t-shirt, and the caption says, "How I'm trying to do 2021." And the back of his t-shirt says, "Good sex, no stress, one boo, no X, small circle, big checks." Man, I can agree with
strong shirt.
I can agree with everything on that shirt,
bro.
and
Where
that
did
is
you
what
get
I
that
would
shirt?
want. And that is your da-da-da meme of the week, episode 41, season 3 premiere.
That was a
Let's
great
go.
meme, but that was
Isn't that a
even
funny one?
better
It's a
shirt.
funny one. It's a funny one. I like that one. Because that's true. That's a good way to start the season. We're starting 2021,
Yes.
and that's how we
Yeah.
want to, you
It's
know?
a positive note, like looking forward.
Yeah.
Like,
You can't tell me
towards
that. You can't tell me
good
that
year.
any person can't look at that shirt and agree with one thing they want on that list.
true, though.
There's one thing
100%.
anybody. Yeah. I mean. Pretty
I mean,
You know.
shit.
Literally, the top and the bottom is probably the ones people are going to agree with the most. Good sex, big checks. Like, come on. What else could you want?
Fucking
want
no
some-
stress, baby.
I want some fat paychecks.
That's also true.
True. Bada
I
boom.
want some
Oh.
fat investments.
So, well, this is season 3 here. There's gonna be some. I'm gonna try to do some updates to everything here to make it a little bit better. I try to small incremental things.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes, every
You'll
season.
get it.
Every
Little
season you
updates.
get one little better thing. So
You
have
get a
like
little tiny thing.
20 episodes and never an update.
By season 10, you're gonna have like a HD full quality with a recording studio.
Yeah, you're going to have our faces. It's basically going to be like the next Joe Rogan
Holograms out in
experience.
front of your ass on your wrist.
Yeah.
True. It's going to be awesome.
Different shit.
Season 10, that would be how many? What will that be?
I don't even know. I can't math like that. I mean, we're episode 41. We're episode
20
41.
episodes,
200.
Yeah.
So, what,
201.
200 episodes?
So, like, 201 would be season 10. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, dude, we could be millionaires by then.
If you think about it, we are slightly less.
I fucking hope that'd be wild.
We're slightly less than 25% of the way there. I would say right now we're like 20% there.
yeah,
Yeah.
We're like 20% to season 10. That's crazy. Man.
It's crazy.
Hopefully
We're
we're
almost
still,
52.
If we're at season... What were you saying, Troy?
I was just saying, like, we're almost 52 weeks in. We've always been ripping this bitch for a year.
I know, that's crazy.
We're gonna have to do something crazy for the 1 year.
We're gonna have a close, not so distant, socially distant podcast.
What day
We're
did
meeting
we
up.
upload the first?
I think we should all be super fucking drunk.
Yep.
And it's, like,
We're taking a shot.
just super funny. I don't
Every-
know.
The first episode was uploaded on March 26th.
Woo!
Damn, that's hot. That's hot. Like 13 days after the peak drop in the stock market.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
wild.
God.
I'll never forget March 13th.
I was in Pittsburgh, like the day that everything fucking went down in March, or the 19th or whatever, or the 20th.
What was the
And, like,
20th?
the
Was the 20th of fucking lockdown city?
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
jeez.
like when lockdown city began.
I think
City.
the 13th, if I'm not mistaken, was like the biggest drop in the stock market ever.
Yeah, that's when shit
'Cause-
started getting real.
They're always
And then-
forward looking, so like, yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
We're going through
coming
very
up on the 1
unprecedented
year.
times.
Well, 2021, I have faith.
Me
It's going to
too.
be a good year for everyone
Yes.
involved in the Socially Distant podcast, so keep listening.
Hell yeah.
Hell yes.
If you keep listening, you're going to have a good year. If you don't, you're out of our hands.
Nothing we
next
can do
time.
for you there, buddy.
Later.
Bye.